What if you could stop a lie before it goes viral? I mean, really stop it. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical new concept designed to do just that. An API for truth that works not after all the damage is done, but in the milliseconds before it can even start. To really get the solution, you first have to understand the battlefield, and the core problem, it's all about speed. This one statistic says it all, really. A lie on the internet travels 6 times faster than the truth. It's like the truth is starting a race a mile behind the starting line. And that head start, it has a massive real-world impact. Get a load of this number, 10 million. On average, that's how many views a malicious deepfake can get before a human fact-checker even has a chance to debunk it. By that point, honestly, the damage is already done. It's out there. And we're not just talking about hurt feelings or online arguments. This has a staggering real-world cost. $78 billion? That's the estimated hit to the global economy every year from disinformation. We're talking about everything from stock manipulation to a brand's reputation getting absolutely torched by a viral lie. So this fundamental mismatch in speed, it actually has a name, the viral velocity gap. Right now, our entire fact-checking system is what you'd call post-viral. It's designed to clean up a mess that's already spread everywhere. That's kind of like sending a firefighter to look at a pile of ash. And this is where you see the huge blind spot in our current approach. Today's AI moderation tools are trained to spot obvious harm, things like hate speech or graphic content. But they have no concept of what's true or false. So a deepfake of a CEO falsely declaring bankruptcy, it could slip right through because it's not technically hate speech, even though it could literally destroy a company in a matter of hours. Okay, so if the problem is a speed gap, the solution has to be a technological one, right? So enter the concept of the Veritas API, and it's pitched with this really powerful analogy. Think of it as the Stripe for truth, a simple, real-time trust layer that any platform, any app, can just plug right in to verify content on the fly. And this table just lays out the fundamental shift perfectly. We're moving from the old way, a reactive model with human fact-checkers working hours or even days later, to a proactive one where an API works in pipeline, in milliseconds. It's the difference between having a cleanup crew and having a security. So what does this API actually do? Well, the output is surprisingly simple. It analyzes any piece of content, whether it's text, an image, or a video, and it spits out a single trust score from 0 to 100. You can think of it like a credit score for content. A high score means high risk, probably false, while a low score suggests it's likely credible. A trust score sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? I mean, how can an AI possibly figure out if something's true in the time it takes you to blank? All right, let's pop the hood and take a look. It's basically a rapid-fire, 3-pronged investigation. First up, visual forensics. The AI scans for those tiny, invisible giveaways of a deepfake, like unnatural pixel noise or even checking for a human pulse in a video. Then, boom, it does contextual analysis, instantly checking the claim against a huge database of trusted sources like Reuters and the AP. And finally, it looks at source credibility. Does the account that posted this look like a bot? Does it have the history of shady behavior? The engine powering all of this is some seriously cutting-edge AI. We're talking fine-tuned large language models to understand what the text actually means, vision transformers to analyze the tiny details in images, and it's all powered by a special vector database to cross-reference claims in a flash. It's a high-performance stack built for one thing and one thing only: speed. Okay, having amazing tech is one thing, but getting people to actually adopt it, that's a whole different ballgame. The business strategy for something this disruptive has to be just as smart as the technology itself. And the go-to-market plan here is actually pretty brilliant. Instead of going straight for the big social networks and all the censorship debates that would come with that, the rollout is planned in 3 phases. Phase 1 is all about ad companies. The pitch is simple: protect your brand from showing up next to fake news. Phase 2 is to offer the tool to newsrooms as an assistant to speed up their work. And only then, once it's established and trusted, does it aim to become the standard for the major platforms. And why go through all this trouble? Well, because the market opportunity is enormous. The entire content moderation and brand safety market is valued at $10 billion. The goal here isn't just to build a neat little tool, but to capture a huge piece of a massive and growing industry. Of course, an idea this powerful, an API that scores truth, it doesn't come without some serious hurdles. The risks here are just as significant as the potential rewards. You're looking at three major risks that have to be dealt with. First, the big one. Accusations of bias are pretty much inevitable. The proposed fix is to use transparent confidence scores, not just a black and white true or false label. Second, there's the constant cat and mouse game with deepfake creators, who are always trying to beat the system. And third, latency. It has to be almost instant. Any slowdown and the big platforms just won't use it. This quote really frames the ultimate vision for this whole thing. It's positioned not just as another software company, but as defense tech. The idea is that in the 21st century, fighting information warfare is actually a matter of national security, which would make a tool like this a piece of critical infrastructure. Which leaves us with a central, really critical question. Is an automated trust score the key to saving our information ecosystem? Or, in our attempt to fight lies, could we accidentally be creating a powerful and maybe even invisible new form of censorship? It's a huge question worth thinking about. Thanks for digging into this with me.